Hey guys, it's Bond, and forgive me if this is a different style of video than I usually make. I want to seem more professional amidst the award-winning hip-hop band, the Flowbots. I mean, also Keemstar too, but mostly them. You see, Logan Paul released a song titled No Handlebars to mixed results. Of course it got a lot of dislikes due to Logan Paul existing, but it didn't get as much outrage until Keemstar reported a little news story a couple days later. In this news story, Keemstar displays a large amount of misinformation, so I just like to explain a little of the things that Keemstar got wrong, so let's begin.
And speaking about Jake Paul, his brother Logan Paul is under fire.
No, he was not. The criticism that the song was a ripoff of Handlebars was fairly small back then. The only reason that it was that big of an outrage today is because you reported this on Drama Alert.
When I was in my 20s, there was this very popular song called Handlebars, and Logan Paul's song sounds exactly like it. Again, Logan Paul's music video is titled No Handlebars, and the original from the Flowbots is titled Handlebars.
Congratulations, Keem. You understand the basics of titling a song. Usually when an artist names a song, they name it after the most emphasized word in the chorus. And in this case, the Flowbots emphasized handlebars heavily within their song's chorus, and Logan Paul, of course, did not change the word handlebars in his sampling, so the song had to be named Handlebars, but since Handlebars was already a song by the Flowbots, he had to just change it to No Handlebars, because they both sound like song titles. Just saying that the titles are similar doesn't automatically make it a ripoff of the song, because it's sampling.
Now let's listen to these songs side by side. Roll it.
I can ride my bike with no handlebars.
I can ride your girl with no handlebars.
No handlebars. No handlebars.
No handlebars. No handlebars.
Do you see how similar they are?
Yes, Keemstar, the choruses of each song do sound similar. That's because there's this complex thing known as a sample. For those of you who don't know, a sample is when an artist takes part of a pre-existing song, like a lyric or a melody, etc., and changes it around a bit to suit their own song's needs. Since you're a fan of rap and hip-hop stuff, Keemstar, you should know all this. But the sampling can still count as ripping off a song. As many of you might know, Vanilla Ice was taken into some legal troubles because he ripped off the instrumental from Under Pressure, and we all know how the story went, so that is an example of a sample not being changed enough to count as a sample in a legal sense, but in this case, Logan Paul's song is not one of those cases. But if you want a more specific example of this specific type of sampling, look no further than Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise, which heavily sampled the chorus of Pastime Paradise by Stevie Wonder. Which is an amazing example because it goes right down to the songs having a similar name and the type of sample that it is, taking the chorus, changing a couple words to put into his own song. And I have done my research, and I have never found any example of Coolio getting a lawsuit from this sample, because this lyric was changed enough to fall under fair use. You all know what fair use is. You've been on YouTube for a couple years now. You should know what fair use is.
I mean, like, Logan Paul straight up ripped them off.
That hyperbole right there is Keemstar's downfall, because in this situation, Logan Paul would have gotten hate for this being a ripoff, no matter what. Not even if Keemstar reported any of this, but if Keemstar just kind of never said that outright that it was a ripoff, it would have been fine. It would have gotten the same amount of hate, or probably more, because Keemstar reported on it, but since Keemstar flat out said that it was a ripoff of Handlebars, Keemstar's loyal and fairly stupid fanbase just latched onto that claim and started dislike bombing the video. Of course, since Logan Paul's fans are equally as stupid, they haven't gotten over the like ratio and dislikes, so...
Now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, Logan Paul probably hit up the Flowbots. They probably worked out a deal or something. No, the Flowbots are pissed.
Incorrect. 2 hours after the video was released, Logan Paul released this tweet asking the Flowbots to DM him. No one really knows what these DMs were about or even if they resolved anything, but I'm assuming it's just because Logan Paul was getting a couple comments about this being a ripoff and he wanted to patch some things up with the Flowbots. But of course, as you can tell from the situation, it didn't go so well. But that is just an assumption. I'm not going to say that that's fact or anything. I have my own theory on why all this stuff is happening, but I'm going to save that for the end.
They tweeted out this reminder to fans: when playing homage to our music, please try not to indulge in rampant misogyny and tone-deaf douchebaggery.
I was going to mention Flowbot's reaction to this Logan Paul controversy thing, but since Keemstar mentioned these tweets, I think it made it a little bit more convenient for me. I know the Flowbots weren't angry that Logan Paul sampled the song. That would be stupid since they are a hip-hop band, and they should know what sampling is. But no, they're not angry at that. They're angry at how he sampled it. Now, to quote them, they're not complaining that it's a sample. They're complaining that the sample was used in a way that indulges in rampant misogyny and tone-deaf douchebaggery. But as much as they're able to complain, and believe me, they should complain, the song is really kind of generic and not really needed. As long as they can complain about that stuff, they have no right to dictate what Logan Paul does with his sampling. Once the sample gets into the hands of the artist, they can do whatever they want with it as long as it's not offensive or illegal or anything.
They also said this. So, Logan Paul, was "Can I Ride Your Girl with No Handlebars" inspired before or after the hashtag #MeToo campaign?
That tweet right there, that tweet is so freaking stupid. The Flowbots are trying to make some fake controversy by mentioning the #MeToo campaign in this thing. Why did you bring that into this? It had nothing to do with any of this controversy. Now, I am disappointed that I have to do this to myself, but let's analyze the lyrics of Logan Paul's song for a while. As the chorus clearly states, Logan Paul can
Ride your girl with no handlebars.
as in can, not has. And I have looked through the lyrics and I haven't seen any rapey comments, so Logan Paul is in the clear for that. Also, this song was released amidst the controversy of Logan Paul being Jake Paul's
Girl with no handlebars.
so the song is obviously referring to that and confirming those accusations. So saying that it's about rape or being offensive to the Me Too campaign is just a stupid claim.
I personally think the Flowbots should take legal action against Logan Paul.
They should not, and even if they do, which is very likely, they will not win, because Logan Paul changed the lyric enough to count as fair use, and because something is in fair use, it is free of copyright infringement.
I mean, and I like Logan. I'm just sorry, but like, they're too similar. They're too similar.
Yeah, that is a side effect of sampling. Thank you for explaining this to us. This drama is just so stupid, I want it to die. And of course it is going to die fairly soon if the Flowbots are releasing a diss track on Logan Paul. Yes, that is real, look it up. But as I have stated before, this sample does not need any legal action because it falls under fair use, and the Flowbots have no right to dictate what Logan does with his sampling. My theory on what all of this is that the Flowbots and Logan Paul are just in some fake beef for attention, because the Flowbots haven't been relevant for a very long time, and Logan Paul is a Paul brother, so he just loves attention. There wasn't anything to disprove these claims, but that is just my theory. Anyways, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next video, so goodbye.